to the southern African nation of Mozambique now, where residents are cleaning up damage from Cyclone Chido. The storm claimed at least 34 lives there. Drone video shows the extent of the damage, with flattened homes and vegetation. Classrooms in a number of schools were destroyed as well. The storm made landfall on Sunday after pushing through the southwestern Indian Ocean in the early part of the region's cyclone season. Let's speak now to Karyn Beattie from Save the Children. She is in Mozambique's capital, Maputo. Great to have you on the show. How severe is the situation on the ground after Cyclone Chido hit Mozambique?
It's quite bad, especially for those villages that were in the direct path. And so just as you've seen in that footage you've shown, many people have lost their homes. A lot of schools have been damaged, clinics, health points, that sort of thing. So for many people who in the first place were quite poor, they are now suffering this new impact on their lives.
Tell us, what are people in most need of right now?
So they really need food, they need water, they need shelter. It's the rainy season now, so they need to have a place to shelter from the rain. In the longer term, they're going to need the materials to rebuild their houses, but also quite a lot of people have lost their crops, trees, fruit trees, that kind of thing. And so that will be needed. They will need seed and seedlings to replace all of that.
Yeah, sure. We're just seeing the images there of the devastation. It looks absolutely awful. Tell us, what concrete measures are Save the Children taking to help people on the ground?
So Save the Children's teams have been out almost immediately looking at what the needs are and meeting with people to see where the greatest needs are. They already have in place in Pemba some items that can be delivered immediately. Those kinds of things are immediate needs of enabling people to be able to survive. And the main thing that the teams will be doing is ensuring that children are protected. In a big storm like this, it's terrifying for children, and quite often in the midst of all the chaos, they can get separated from their families, etc. And so that will be a main focus in the short term. The longer term, obviously, it will be a contribution to repairing those damaged buildings, especially the schools, and then some of the longer term recovery for those families.
All right, we'll leave it there. Well, hopefully people can get back to some level of normality soon. Thanks for joining us on DW News today. Karyn Beattie from Save the Children joining us from the Mozambique capital, Maputo.
Journalist Daniel Brown told us how the situation is developing in Mayotte. He's reported extensively on French and African affairs and is in touch with people on the ground there.
The 320,000 Maori are waking up to a living nightmare. Severe water shortages, destroyed infrastructure, very little electricity, and growing food shortages. I mean, you have to remember Mayotte is less than half the size of Berlin. It's mountainous and rugged, and so the challenges of bringing them aid from the outside are huge. The worst hit is northern Mayotte, where entire neighborhoods have been destroyed, and the combination of high winds and flooding has rendered these areas particularly vulnerable. And there's still a reluctance to seek shelter. I mean, many residents are hesitant to move to emergency shelters that are due to fear of being controlled. In a French department with a large proportion of people from the Comoros, they are deemed illegals, despite the fact that they are historically part of the same entity as recognized by the United Nations. And also there's the health risks, and these have been exacerbated by those risks. And so the challenges are really growing, with potential outbreaks of waterborne diseases due to stagnant water and compromised sanitation facilities.